Hello everyone, and welcome to the SCAD Savannah Film Festival, the largest university-run film festival in the world. My name is Jules DeVore, and I'm a junior acting major from Dallas, Texas. And welcome to my SCAD Savannah Film Festival vlog. So if you don't know, SCAD is the university I attend, and every year they do a week of movies, panels, and a bunch of other stuff with really famous people in the industry. And it's a film fest. It's a beautiful film festival. So I'm going to take you with me. So, things to know. One, I didn't camp out, so I didn't get everything I wanted. I got a lot of stuff, though. There's only 3 things I didn't get. I didn't get Eternity, Frankenstein, and The Testament of Ann Lee. But even though I don't have tickets for those, I can do standby line. In standby line, basically once they scan in all the pass holders, they can calculate, like, okay, what pass holders didn't show up. We didn't have 20 pass holders show up, so let's 20 people in from the standby line. And then once the ticket people go through and they're like, okay, 4 ticket holders didn't show up, so we can let 4 people in from the standby. So you might not even get in if you do standby. And I know for a fact that they oversold Frankenstein because I'm a moderator, so I have a little bit of inside information. Just because like they thought there wasn't going to be that many pass holders, and then a bunch of people, when they couldn't get tickets, were scrambling to buy passes, and it's a whole thing. I don't really blame a lot of people are like, oh, it's SCAD's fault. I don't really blame them because, like, some of that stuff you can't really plan for. But yeah, so I was going to do standby for everything I didn't have tickets for. I'm not doing standby for Frankenstein. But the other thing you can stand in line for is master classes. Master classes are inside classes with industry professionals. Today we have an amazing master class with 3 very intelligent casting directors, and I'm so excited to go to that one. The tricky thing with that is they only let in the first 100 students that are there. So what's the agenda today? It's Saturday, the 25th. I have that master class at 11. It is currently 8:45. I'm about to go leave for it. Then this evening we have our opening gala, which is Eternity with Miles Teller, who is a friend of the festival. Once again, I don't know if I can get into this. I could stand in the standby line and not get in. But part of me is like, you know what's happening today and I won't have to stand in line for? The Pride Fest in Forsyth Park. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing. Come with me as I find out. And this is the fit. Oh, this is my moderator pass, y'all. I'm so cool. This is the fit. I rented stuff from Newly. So I left about 2 hours early for the masterclass because I wanted to get a good spot in line, and I also knew that the Pride Parade was happening in downtown Savannah. I live in Starland District, so getting over to Hamilton Hall takes about 8 to 12 minutes on a good day, so I knew this was going to be crazy to get over there. I kid you not, it took me an hour and 30 minutes to get to Hamilton Hall. I asked 3 different officers directing traffic. Finally, I asked a woman cop, and of course, she's the one who knew how to get me to where I needed to go, which was great. Thank you to that woman cop. But I get to Hamilton Hall and I'm like, wow, no one's here. I must be so freaking early. And then I look at the email. The masterclass didn't start until that afternoon. I was like 5 hours early. Oh my God, I love ADHD so much. Anyway, I just ended up going to the Pride Market. I got banana pudding. There was a lot of great vendors there. Please enjoy clips from the small businesses that I saw there. And yeah, then I went home and changed into heels to be a little bit more businessy. And I went to the master class. I waited for about an hour. I got some good reading in, and I didn't get clips of the master class because we're not allowed to have our phone out, but it was really good, and I'll talk about that in just a sec. I want to like sit up here, but I'm just going to get on my tippy toes. Okay, so I just got back from that master class. It was really amazing. I really liked hearing their thoughts on staying positive and having good mental health. That was a great master class. Highly recommend. They were so phenomenal. I would love to be a casting director. That would be so much fun. But anyway, I don't have tickets for Eternity. I'm not camping out because I feel like it's oversold. So I'm going to make dinner, and I've got 2 auditions to film and then 2 mock auditions for class to film. So I got to work on that. 3 of them are voiceovers. Happy Sunday. On Sunday, we got up and went to the Lucas Theater to get in a very long line to see John M. Chu. Yep, that's Annette, my sweet roommate. And I did get some good reading time in. It was a very long wait. And there was a cheetah. There was a cheetah on Broughton Street. It was crazy. Fine, it finally got moving. My wicked pen's ready to take notes. And then the B-Sharps came out and performed. John M. Chu gave a beautiful acceptance speech for his award. After the panel, we rushed over to the Gooston Gallery to hear his master class moderated by my musical theater professor, Tiffany Everest. And then we walked to Trusty Theater, stood in line to see Nouvelle Vague. And then Zoe Deutsch came out and accepted her award, gave a little speech. Then we watched Nouvelle Vague, and then we got to hear her talk back. So I'm going to rank all of the films that I saw at the very end of this video. But I originally had a very rambly video of me talking about the panel in the masterclass with John M. Chu, but I was rushing, and it didn't look good. So instead, you're going to look at videos of Wicked while I tell you about this amazing masterclass. We're going to start with the panel. John M. Chu talked about Wicked is about forgiveness, showing up, and seeing and hearing others. I had no idea that the cinematographer of this film, Alice Brooks, and him have been friends for a while. They started working together on his senior thesis. So isn't that so amazing that he got to make a movie about friendship with one of his closest friends? Ugh, don't get me started. Chu also talked about how movie musicals are the greatest genre of all time. You can go way deeper into the storytelling. We also got to see an exclusive BTS footage from the set, and it was gorgeous, so cool. He talked about when the casting came out, and there was so much criticism that he said they had to turn away from the audience and face the orchestra. The movies were actually cut at the same time, so they edited part 1 and 2 all together January before the first movie came out, and then they went back in January and re-edited the second movie based on the feedback that they had gotten. Movie 1 plays into tropes, the perfect fairy tale that breaks during defying gravity. Movie 2 starts broken. Oh, and then he said Elphaba and Glinda are two sides of everyone. Okay, moving on to the masterclass. Chu talked about how he grew up in Silicon Valley in the 80s and the 90s. Musical theater was a big part of his upbringing. And his parents were immigrants, and they owned a restaurant. And so he had this very quintessential American dream idea in his mind. And so when he came to Wicked, he came looking at it from this angle of, does that childhood dream still exist? He followed up the question of dreams by saying, quote, "You can have those dreams. You just may not travel on the yellow brick road. You may have to fly," unquote. Oh my God. Okay, this was my favorite story he told. He said, the forest set is inside of a warehouse, right? These birds had gotten into the warehouse and they nested. And they would only sing whenever Cynthia Erivo was singing. They would only do a call and response. And the sound engineer tried to get rid of the birds, and Cynthia said, "No, those are my birds." So there is a track that's entangled with bird noises. I have seen the movie now, so I don't know if that's necessarily true, but their sound engineer did a great job. Okay, happy Monday morning. Today, I got to moderate the Entertainment Law panel.
Discussion. Entertainment Law 101.
This is a tiny video my roommate took. She was a little late, so she didn't get the full video. I got my first Getty's image. Then I waited outside in the rain. It was horrendous to get a good spot at the Gersh agency panel. I walked back to my car. Don't know why there's such long footage of this. Oh, and then I went home, changed my shoes, ate some lunch. I love this dress so much. I rented it from Nuuly. It's a Selkie dress. It's so gorgeous. And then I went to see The Testament of Anne Lee with Amanda Seyfried. Amanda Seyfried came out and accepted her award. Then I got to see The Testament of Anne Lee. Unfortunately, I did have to scoot out and go to the theater next door to see Christy with Sydney Sweeney. And here's Sydney Sweeney accepting her award. We didn't stay to see her top back. Me and Annette were pretty tired, so we just went ahead and went home. Happy Tuesday! Quick fit check before I go to the producers panel. Then I checked out the official SCAD Savannah Film Fest gift shop. I did get some stickers. Then I went home and I changed into something more comfortable. Then I waited in another line to see Hamnet. Then on Wednesday I took a rest day so that I could get up bright and early on Thursday and moderate. I was moderator for a film called The President's Cake. I had to scoot out and go to a chiropractor appointment, and then I went home and changed into an outfit that I'm not showing because it's not that cute. And I saw Hedia with Tessa Thompson. Happy Friday or Halloween! This is my Goldilocks costume. I did not bring my bear with me, so I'm sure it didn't make a lot of sense to a lot of people, but it's okay. We got in line for this screening about 3 hours early. This screening was HBO Presents. It, Welcome to Derry, and I Love LA. Such the combination. We got to see episode 2 of Welcome to Derry, and then we got to see 2 unreleased episodes of I Love LA, plus hear panels from the cast. Hello, and welcome to the portion of the video where I rank everything that I saw at SCAD Savannah Film Fest 2025. Just a reminder, please don't be offended by any of my opinions. This is just my opinion. I can be completely wrong. I can be completely right. That's the beauty of the opinion. And let's get into it. At number 6, I have Hedia. Hedia is... I can't even tell you what it's about. I was so confused throughout the entire movie. I don't even know. It's based on the play by the same name. And it's about this rich woman who throws this dinner party, and her husband are about to lose all their money, or like they're renting the house or something. And then she's also like secretly a lesbian, and like it's a whole thing, and I didn't understand what was happening at all. The story was just so disjointed. I did not understand what was going on. However, Tessa Thompson gives a beautiful performance, and there were beautiful gowns. Oh, it was gorgeous. It was gorgeous to look at. I would have loved to watch it on mute and make up my own story, because it would have made a lot more sense than whatever happened on the screen. But yeah, beautiful gowns. I love the PD and costume design, and Tessa Thompson, very good. At number 5, we have Nouvelle Vague. This is about the making of this film that brought about this new age of cinema. Basically, this director improvs the entire movie. Yeah, the producer in me was like shaking. I was watching this with my roommate and my best friend, Annette, who we do everything together. Like, she directs and I produce. And I leaned over and I was like, if you ever did any of this to me, I would like die. It was awful. So much anxiety. I had so much anxiety watching this movie because I was like, he wants to freeball the movie? What? And I felt for the producer character more than anyone else. Like, everyone's like, oh, it's just, he's making art, he's making cinema. And the producer would come in and be like, you're wasting my money. Stop. And I felt that way the whole movie. I was very stressed out. The thing about this movie, on Letterboxd I said Film Bros Final Boss movie. Because, yeah, the average public is not going to care about this movie, about making this movie that they've never heard about, right? Richard Linklater produced it, and he's been trying to get this film made for over a decade. This has been a passion project of his, and I really commend him for, like, sticking to his guns about his passion. Like, additionally, this movie, I love Audrey Hepburn films. Like, I've been obsessed with them since I was 4, and it encapsulated the movies of this time so well. Like, if you put this up on screen, someone might be like, oh, what old movie are you watching? The pacing is so much with the golden age of Hollywood. Like, it was very well done in encapsulating that. So, at number 4, I have Christy. Christy is the biopic about Christy Martin, which I will say, I did go into this blind. I usually do not go into Film Fest movies blind. However, I did this one. And there was a moment in the movie where I realized that I knew who Christy Martin was, and I go, oh my god. What I will say, so good. I know Sydney Sweeney is very controversial right now, but it was so good, y'all. Like, I think she does a really good job as Christy Martin. And it was very well shot. I think as a biopic, it was well done. I think the PD, the costuming, the acting, all of it was very good. My biggest critique, however, it should have been a tight 90. Y'all, this movie was almost 2.5 hours. I can cut out the hour that needs to get cut. Like, put me on Premiere Pro right now with this movie and let me cut it for you. It was just a little bit too long, but it was very well done. Sydney Sweeney's acting is so good in it. I do recommend it. If you're on the fence about seeing it, go see it. It's really good. Just be prepared for 2.5 hours. Maybe bring, like, a meal to the theater with you. Google when you can take bathroom breaks. Like, it's a little long. At number 3, I have Hamnet. Hamnet is... oh, words don't describe how beautiful this film is. Oh my god. It is on the longer side. However, I can't cut out the minutes to make this film shorter. It needed every second of stillness. Every second of screen time was so vital. Hamnet is about the creation of Shakespeare's Hamlet. It focuses on his family and his backstory. And I don't know how much of it is based in fact. However, it is one of the most beautiful films I've seen ever. Very well done. I did cry. There was not a dry eye in the audience. I looked over and the girl next to me was bawling and we like bawled together. I have no idea who she was, but Miss Girl, we both felt it. Like, it was so good. I'm not gonna spoil it. Go see it. That's one you have to go see. Okay, and then at number 2, I have The Testament of Anne Lee. Anne Lee was the first female preacher in the United States. So it's set in colonial era. It is very good. Amanda Seyfried is a powerhouse in this movie. The PD is very well done on this. The acting is good. It is on the longer side, but it's another one that I'm like, you needed every single minute. It's a story told in 3 acts, the beginning of her life, the middle of her life, and the end of her life. Very, very good. And then at number 1, I have The President's Cake. I would not have seen this film had I not been moderating it. However, I am so thankful that I did. It is a foreign film. I don't remember what language it is in. The President's Cake is about this girl in the 1990s in Iraq who gets drawn to bake the president's birthday cake. And she cannot afford to eat daily. And so she goes on this wild adventure in the city to be able to get the ingredients to bake the president's cake. When I tell you, this movie is so moving. The 2 child actors that star in it are so good. It was riveting. It was heart-wrenching. It was sweet. It was heartwarming. It was so good. I definitely am going to prioritize seeing more foreign films because this was by far the top film that I saw. I highly recommend trying to see it. Thank you for watching my Film Fest vlog. Please like and subscribe. If you want to connect with me, you can visit the links down below. Check out my Instagram, my acting YouTube channel. And yeah, thanks so much for joining along. If you went to Film Fest, please comment your favorite film that you saw this year. All right, have a good day. Bye!